What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome to The Come Up, podcast featuring Southwest Florida's ambitious, innovating, forward-thinking entrepreneurs. I'm Scrappy, and we're brought to you by Content with Teeth. They're an amazing content marketing agency for real. Right here in Southwest Florida, 20 years experience. They do it big, real big, just like this fathead behind me. Content with Teeth, check them out. Today's guest is fascinating to me. Kai Pfretzschner, owner of Creating Better Days, a CBD manufacturer in Fort Myers. What's going on, Kai?
Not too much. How are you doing?
Good, real good. You know, when we think of CBD, I'm like, well, it's kind of cool, but I'm not really sure what it is. Does it give me a buzz? Does it help me with pain? Does it relieve anxiety? You know, there's still a little confusion about it. Can you break it down for us?
Right. So CBD is one of like 140 cannabinoids that occur in the cannabis plant, and it's non-psychoactive, so it does not get you high, but it helps with certain ailments. So it calms you down and relieves anxiety. It's an anti-inflammatory, so it helps with recovery after certain sports injuries and all kind of stuff.
Very nice, very nice. I understand that THC is there a little bit, like 3%. So can I drink like 33 bottles and get high like weed?
Well, full spectrum CBD by law is allowed to have 0.3% THC.
Okay.
So, you know, some products, if you take a little bit more, you can definitely feel it. We have a line of gummies that's called Spectrum Plus. They do have about 10 milligrams of THC legally in a gummy, so you definitely feel it.
I've never taken CBD before. What's the sensation like?
It's more like a calming feeling. It kind of like takes the edge off a little bit. So, you know, if you worry too much, it calms you down a little bit. But like I said, you don't really get a head high or anything.
And the government, they seem to be supportive of it, but not to the point where they're still saying may, probably, well, sometimes, potential. How come the government hasn't like put their rubber stamp on this?
Yeah, it just seems like the FDA, as every government agency, is moving fairly slow. So we've been doing this for 8 years now. So ever since we started in this business, in the beginning was a total gray area. Then legislation came down a little bit through the FDA. The FDA didn't want to deal with it, and especially in Florida, so they gave the Department of Agriculture the authority to regulate us. So businesses like mine are now regulated by the Department of Agriculture for labeling, product standards, manufacturing practices, and all that good stuff.
I've been on your website. I know you tried to educate your customers there. But, you know, on a daily basis, how do you sensitize your customers to what you have, this great product that you have?
Well, I mean, the customer educates themselves usually through online searches. So people gotten very knowledgeable with CBD. We do have a quiz on our website. It kind of like ask a couple of questions and then suggest your product. But grand scheme of things, people gotten pretty knowledgeable about CBD, and now there's many other cannabinoids out there, Delta 8, T9, all kinds of different ones. CBN for more calming, relaxing, and nighttime relief. So there's a bunch of things to choose from.
My brother takes it, but he says his gastrointestinal tract doesn't absorb it fast enough. Is that why Nano is available?
That's why Nano is available. It just downsizes the molecule size a little bit. Usually you kind of like need a medium chain triglycerides on oil, a fatty acid with any cannabinoid. So your product, your stomach can absorb it faster. If you're nanofied, you break down the size, the absorption rate goes up, and you feel the effects a little bit faster.
Kai, you have antidepressants and also antipsychotics in your CBD. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's really awesome. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
I'm not sure about antidepressant and antipsychotics. There is a couple things that we offer. So there's an entourage effect between CBD, CBN, and melatonin. So we sometimes use an over-the-counter like melatonin, a sleep aid, and couple it together with CBD and CBN to give you a better effect. So there's some people that can't sleep, so they take melatonin. They get used to melatonin. Well, it turns out if you throw together CBD and melatonin in one edible and a gummy, for example, it really helps.
Sleep, anxiety, pain. You're doing really good stuff here. but the public really still is not sensitized to it completely. So what will you say to the public, to all Southwest Florida, when it comes to buy my CBDs, damn it?
All I can tell them, give it a try. There's really no side effects to CBD. Like I said, non-psychoactive, so don't be afraid that you're not going to be able to drive a car. The labels state, if you use something new in your diet, like you add something like CBD, ask your physician first, hey, is this good for me? Hey, I'm taking XYZ prescriptions. Is that going to affect it? So you should always ask your physician that's something, but other than that, give it a try. Start with a low dosage. A lot of people just go way too high in the beginning and then, start low.
My parole officer is always asking me, Scrappy, you got to take a test. Will I pass a test if I take CBD?
If you do an isolated CBD isolate, meaning it's just CBD, there's no delta-9 THC in it, then you're not going to have any issues with the drug test. If you use a full spectrum product, there's trace amounts of THC in it, then that might show up. So you got to be careful which product you choose. We got several different ones. So
I'm just kidding about the parole thing.
Hey man, I don't know. Judgment-free zone.
You mentioned gummies. What other products do you have?
Right now, our main product is gummies. So we produce about 250,000 gummies a day.
Wow.
And that's our main business right now. But we offer anything from oils to topicals. We got pet-related products, pet treats. There's a lot of products to choose from. But we dialed it down a little bit since gummies is now our main road.
Okay. Well, I'm curious about the gummies, but pets? You're giving this stuff to pets?
Yeah, the pet CBD market has been highly successful, maybe for the last 5 years. So obviously pets, dogs, cats deal with things like separation anxiety. They get nervous during storm, and CBD helps calm them down. So we have several dog treats and tinctures for cats and dogs available to, help out a little bit.
I noticed on your website you have better days, better nights, better defense, better delights, and you have better pets. But you need better babies, man. Babies, when they're on an airplane, they're getting a little unruly. Just give them a gummy, and they'll sleep for hours.
Yeah, this 18 years and older is a thing in Florida. So,
So 350,000 gummies a day. That's amazing, man. You're right here in Fort Myers. Where does that put you industry-wise, nationwide, globally?
In the US right now, we're one of the 5th largest producers of gummy edibles in the US. So, we're up there. We're pretty busy.
One of the things that's really, really cool about you guys is the fact that you do nonprofit work. You have your quarterly donations. Is it quarterly? What is it called?
We choose a charity every quarter, and we help them ease out with donations, or we help them, funding wise, or we advertise for them. We do cross collaborations with all kinds of charities that in our area specifically, and that target a couple things that we feel that, we can help and contribute a little bit to give back. Yeah,
I noticed you're helping out the veterans, breast cancer, Humane Society, man. I commend you on that. That's really awesome.
Thank you. I mean, giving back is one of the things that I think are important. A business is designed to make money, but giving back is important, especially to things that you feel, are close to you. Or,
Absolutely. And you dropped off, 75 pounds of gummies to the dogs at the Fort Myers Humane Society? They must have been sleeping for days.
No. We helped them out with treats. We donated bulk treats. We had our team. We currently have about 85 people working for us. So they made dog toys. So we helped them out with adoption drive, treats. We built toys for them. So everybody, chips in their time a little bit.
You mentioned you've been in business for 8 years, but you've really skyrocketed under your leadership. How have you evolved so quickly?
Oh, good question. It's a combination. So you're in a business, you're trying to figure out what drives your business a little bit quicker. You hone in. There's a thing called the power law. 20% of anything you do usually gives you about 80% off your return. So in our case, we honed into the gummies. So 2.5 years ago, we decided to manufacture our own gummies. Not a lot of people did it. It took us about 6 months to get the machinery up and going, to get the R&D work together, get all the licenses together. And producing our own gummy edibles really made a difference. So that's propelled our business.
You have a fascinating background. You're from Germany, and you were studying Mercedes-Benz. You're going to be a mechanic for Mercedes-Benz. So in coming over here, you're somewhat of a scientist, aren't you? You're kind of like an engineer that tinkers a lot, right?
Well, that's how I started. I was an engineer for Mercedes, and then I moved here about 20 years ago, went through a couple of different businesses, anything from construction, real estate, and then ended up in the cannabis industry. And in the beginning, it was all self-taught, right? So a lot of reading. How do I come up with a formula for gummy? What's pectin, what's glucosamine, what's everything that's in there, right? So in the beginning, it was all that. Now we have chemists employed, that check all the formulas. I'm the chief development officer, so I'll come up with new ideas, new gummies, and then I go to them and say, here, this is my idea, can we do it or not? And then we work together on the formulation and SOPs and all that good stuff.
As an entrepreneur, we highlight entrepreneurs here locally in Southwest Florida, courtesy of Content with Teeth. I think it's fascinating that you have two incredible skills. You're not just a scientist / engineer, but you're also a driver. You really drive a business. You're very ambitious. How do you go about complementing your team so that all the parts around you work properly?
Well, that was actually one of the things that I see a lot when entrepreneurs start their business. They underestimate how important it is to have a good team, right? So when you start a business, you think, this was my idea, I can do it better, and I also do it by myself because nobody else can do it as good as myself. Not true. Without a team, you can't grow a business. So our team is amazing. They do a lot of work with us. We do a lot of stuff for them. Every month we do an employee appreciation dinner. We take them out to dinner. We cater stuff. We do fun activities at least once a month. It's important that everybody's comfortable. It doesn't have to be all work, right? So it's good to socialize and make everybody feel they belong to that company.
You create a culture.
You have to.
That's awesome. From a business perspective, you mentioned that you're fifth, in the United States with a gummy business. What about the competition otherwise? What are you doing to stave them off and differentiate yourself moving forward?
Well, a company our size is obviously all for regulation. In our business, in our industry, it's always been like that a lot of people started it out of their garage, out of their homes and stuff.
Right.
We adhere to every regulation there is. We got Holly Bell and Nikki Fried, which is the agricultural minister here in Florida right now, working close together with us. So we adhere to label guidelines. We do third-party testing. So we spend large amounts of money every month to make sure that all of our product that's produced and goes out is tested and approved before it hits the market, right? So there's a lot that goes into it. You have to do it right, otherwise you can't sustain a business.
Sure. I find your company to be very creative as well, from the packaging to the website. What goes into that?
We have a team of designers, so they're the creative people. It's definitely not me. We design logos. We have a whole marketing team, so they do photo shoots. They plan out all the promotions, all the holidays that are coming up 3 to 6 months ahead. They take pictures. They do videos for online social media, ads, all kinds of stuff. So
when you were kicking in Germany as a teenager, did you ever think in your wildest dreams you'd be selling gummies in Southwest Florida for a living?
Definitely not, really. I always was interested in the cannabis industry, like every 16-year-old is, I guess. But to make a business out of it was definitely something amazing. And it's going great. I like it. Okay.
Well, I want you to give a shout out to 3 groups. First of all, I want you to talk to the people that are potential consumers. What's your pitch to them?
My pitch would be that the cannabis plant can be like a perfect substitute for any kind of pharmaceuticals. You don't have to take Vicodin and painkillers. There is a natural alternative with less to none side effects. So for one, you got a lot of customers that tell us, feedback is crazy. Older older ladies and gentlemen come to us and like, wow, I started taking CBD and Delta 8, Delta 9 THC instead of my painkillers. I feel much better. So in my opinion, that's one of the biggest drivers. Veterans, we sponsor them because of PTSD, right? So CBD, Delta 8 THC, Delta 9 THC helps a lot to calm them down and take the edge off a little bit. So there's a lot of pros.
Oxycodone, fentanyl, are people actually getting off of it because of CBD?
I can't say for sure, but I sure hope they would substitute a little bit and get off all that hard stuff.
Okay. Well, another group I want you to talk to are budding entrepreneurs right here in Southwest Florida. I mean, you're doing it really big. What do you suggest for them as far as, let's say they're getting out of FGCU next week. What do you tell them?
Well, if they have the entrepreneurial spirit, they most likely have an idea, right? So they think XYZ, I'm interested in this. Maybe I want to start a business. You got to do your research first. What's your competition look like? In my opinion, it helps to find a niche, a little bit something that's right in the middle that not everybody's doing. If you get out of FGCU and say, hey, I want to come out with an energy drink, well, good luck. Your competition is going to be high. They're probably going to squish you like a bug, as they say, right?
Right.
Then do your homework, right? Make sure you're solid, get legal representation. You need to have a legal backup. And then it's going to be much more work than you ever thought it would be. If you don't put in your time, extraordinary excess comes through extreme sacrifices. So you got to sacrifice your time.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't be in it for the money. Okay, the money will come later on, but hard work and just don't give up.
And Kai, what kind of advice would you give yourself when you were 12 years old?
Nothing. Everything is great. Just do exactly what you're doing. It's all going to be great.
Really?
I wouldn't do anything. So I could have moved a little bit earlier. Okay. So I waited until I was 20, 21 years old before I moved over here. Other than that, the only thing that I could have learned a little bit faster is delegating. Like we talked about it earlier, the mindset that only you can do it the right way. You need a good team of people that you can trust. You got to learn how to delegate stuff to them. That way you can get 10 times the workload done with 3 people in a day that would have taken yourself 2 weeks and then the customer's already gone. So, yeah.
So what's next for you, man?
Well, we're trying to expand in a couple of different states. We're trying to get into the regulated THC market in Michigan and a couple other projects that we have going on. So traveling a lot back and forwards, trying to make things happen.
I'm kind of curious if there's recreational states where they allow marijuana, no problem, no medical card. Can you actually up your CBD percentage just for those states?
They're doing it. If you blend CBD and THC together, it takes the potency of the THC away a little bit. So there's certain products that are doing it, but usually in those states, it's state regulated manufacturers. So you have to have a state license to operate in that state.
Okay. Finally, Kai, in your success, you've afforded yourself the opportunity to travel. You've traveled extensively. And what lessons have you learned?
So traveling, I love to travel because I love to experience different cultures, different food. In my opinion, if you stay in one spot for too long, you're in a little bubble, in a little box, right? And your mind is not as broad as it should be. So traveling, I experience other people, how they do things. And then I realized that the way I'm doing it is probably not the only right way. That there's more than one right way of doing it. Sure. Yeah, we've been to Asia a lot, China, to our manufacturers for machinery over there. We've been 4 or 5 times to Shanghai. Those are all great people. Not so lucky right now, but those are awesome people. They hustle hard. Their work mentality is something I admire. They never give up. And yeah. There's cannabinoid oil, okay, CBD. Then Creating Better Days, I finally figured it out, man, CBD. CBD. Creating Better Days. There you go.
My man, Kai Pfretzschner, Creating Better Days, a CBD manufacturer right here in Southwest Florida, doing it really big. Courtesy of Content with Teeth, we're doing this podcast, Content with Teeth, a marketing agency doing incredible content. I'm Scrappy. Kai, peace out.
Thank you so much.